What's going on, guys? So we are live. Yeah, so getting really close and close to comps. It's approaching. Trying to get as lean as possible now. So starting to see some striations. Feeling lean already. When we talk about diet, what I've done so far, cleaned up the diet. I'm also taking a different approach as I usually take. So I'm making it a little bit more, I'm adding a little bit more of a flexibility approach to my dieting, and I find hopefully that could make it easier for me to diet, but also still keeping everything, like, keeping whole foods in, and that's basically all I'm eating is still whole foods. So nothing crazy like a bro science approach or anything like that, but trying to get the best out of it and trying to utilize that too. So I'll just quickly show you guys what I'm looking like at the moment. I have some Q&As as well from Instagram, so I'll go through like one or two of them, and one of them is actually the title of this, which is tips for getting shredded. So I'm competing in November in the Muscle Mania Pro Show. Guys, if you have any comments, feel free to drop them below and I'll get back to you as well while we do this video, okay? So just show you what I'm looking like at the moment. Abs starting to come in, thighs. Serrata's popping out even more. So decent lean. Like I think this is a good point for me to start leaning up for comp prep, and I personally think I like to stay lean off season anyway. I know my KFC. I still have cheat meals in my prep. Hi, Michelle. So KFC could sneak into my cheat meals every now and then, but I'm going to try and keep my cheat meals not too heavy, not too crazy. I feel like I feel better anyway having refeeds instead. Hope you well, Michelle. Appreciate the love. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I do love KFC though. But yeah, so unfortunately there's gonna be less KFC in my diet. So unfortunately KFC doesn't get me shredded, but I do still love KFC. So KFC love all day long. But yeah, going back onto topic again, trying to eat. Hey, hi Sal, how are you, brother? Hope you're doing well. I saw your thing on Australian Ninja Warrior. Congrats, man. Good stuff, good stuff. Everyone here, please go follow my boy Sal Hassan. Sal Hassan Fitness, SALHASSAN Fitness. So yeah, my boy Sal's doing really well as well. One shredded bloke. Competing against him few years ago and he kicked my ass, so that's a good ass whooping and I needed that. What time is it in my country? That's 5. It's 4:27 at the moment, so I got work later on today. I worked earlier today, dealt with clients, caught up with some, love you bro, caught up with some of my clients that are also competing, so that's gonna be good. I'm excited to see them come into contest shape. It's so good. Like, I feel like I have so much more support this time around competing, and even just with my clients, it's just so fun doing the whole process together rather than just doing it myself. Like, it feels like I'm not alone, so it's good. Sal, you doing? Michelle says, Sal, you're doing crazy, and yes, Kwame's boost looking up. That is classic. My boy Sal trains like a beast. He eats like a beast, and his physique speaks for itself. So big ups to you, man, and hats off. You're doing crazy. Yeah, so I'm just quickly gonna go on the Q&A on my Instagram. Okay. Roland Rat says, good morning, wonder what time it is here. It's 8 in the morning. So it's 4:28. I know, I'm gonna try and be as more active as I can, Roland Rat. It's 4:28 p.m. here. Roland, what time is it and where are you from again? Where are you from again, Roland? So going back onto the topic, Adam MC1 said, what got you into the fitness industry? Who was your biggest bodybuilding inspiration? And he also asked, what are my thoughts on Ziz? So I'm gonna answer this question, then I'm gonna give you guys some tips to getting shredded, or in my opinion, how I feel or think, or like, yeah, what gets me shredded or gets me lean. So Adam MC1 from Instagram, I'm answering your question. So what got you into the fitness industry, and who was your biggest bodybuilding inspiration? So what really got me into the fitness industry? Let's start from fitness itself. So fitness doesn't necessarily mean bodybuilding. I'm from Australia, Roland. Fitness doesn't necessarily mean, and miss you too, bro. Doesn't necessarily mean bodybuilding. There's so many different things. I had a sporting background, so I used to play football, basketball, tennis, cricket, name it. Growing up in the countryside as well, so lots and lots of sports, always outdoors, doing stuff, sometimes indoors, playing games, doing steady, stuff that kids do, and yeah. So I generally had quite a bit of a fitness background before I actually got into the bodybuilding industry. But his question also says, what got you into the fitness industry? So who's your biggest bodybuilding inspiration? So if he means what got me into bodybuilding, I was actually doing my personal training certificate because I really enjoyed training and really enjoyed sport in general. But I also wanted to know how to better myself and train myself and learn how to do it better. And I saw, to be honest, I was doing the course for myself. I wasn't actually doing it to become a PT in the first place. And while I was doing the course, I met a natural bodybuilder called Phil. And he actually, I'd been training for a while back then, but not actual serious. I was just on and off. And I just mainly used to play sports. So it wasn't anything serious. It was just to look good in the tanky or whatever people train. I didn't have any passion for bodybuilding, so that wasn't a big part of my life. And Roland Rat says, sorry, meant to say when are you broadcasting live again? Hopefully tomorrow. I'm gonna try and broadcast live every second day. So I'll try my best to broadcast live as much as possible around this time, or it'll be 8 a.m. Australian time as well if I do. So thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you click the like button, guys. Really appreciate it. So yeah, I played quite a bit of sport growing up, and I did the PT course, just a recap, to help better, my understanding of training and be able to better myself and, be able to look good. And at the end, and then while I was doing it as well, and, I could see my body changing, I met a guy called Phil who was there, and he competed, and he's the one who actually got me into bodybuilding. And you know what happened? After that, I went to seek out a coach. So I had no crazy story. I know a lot of people have a really good inspirational story behind it. Mine was basically, I used to play sport. I used to do a bit of gymming just to look good. And, I started seeking out bodybuilding. He's like, dude, you have so much potential. I seeked out a coach who was a professional bodybuilder. So that actually became my goal as I am now, to become a professional bodybuilder. So Hazel was my coach when I started, and he was a beast, and he still is a beast. And yeah, so I stayed with Hazel for 1 year. And it was really good. I won my first bodybuilding competition, came second my second one, and won all my actual categories for the next few years after. So which was really good. As an amateur bodybuilder, it was so much fun, and I love the environment. I love the people around, and seriously, I couldn't even get more inspired. I just wanted, it got to a point where I just wanted to also help people. So I started also personal training, and also put my course I was doing to use. With that being said, I also was studying at university, and I was studying nutrition and food science. So nutrition and food science helped me get a better understanding of food, the roles it plays in our body. The food science aspect showed me an insight to food, processed foods, and it helped me actually avoid some of them. So that was good. But you know what? One of the things I actually learned in life as well is sometimes people classify all foods as bad foods and whatever. You have to learn to keep balance, regardless of how many times you say, oh, I'm going to go on a diet, this, that. You're only going to be on it for a short period of time if you have no balance in your life. So, and you guys know consistency and the length of time that you're in a diet or, a program is what creates the effectiveness. So what you have to do is you have to try and find something that works really well for you. not just going for any diet that or anything that you see on TV or on Instagram or Facebook. That's, you gotta start to think about your health, and health is not just physical, it's also mental. So you gotta also focus on those things. Stress levels help like induce cortisol release. Cortisol helps store body fat. So for the guys that are looking to get shredded, remember your stress levels. This is actually a tip for you guys. Stress levels is such a big thing, because if you're stressed, you're gonna release cortisol, and body fat is gonna be easily stored, and you don't want that. So that's another tip for you guys. So yeah, and his other question was about this, what my opinion on this was. Me personally, this is just personal opinion, I think this was awesome, because I feel like a lot of people I've actually met in this industry, they said they started fitness and training because of him. And you know what? If it inspires someone to get off their chair or seat to go train, you know what? That's awesome. That's what we need, more of that. So, yeah. RIP to Ziz as well. So, really sad that he's not here. But yeah, you know what? Like I said, if anything that inspires people to move, get into fitness, I think it's actually helpful. Okay, so I'm the kind of person that I'm not the kind of person to be putting people down. I'd rather try my best to see the best in people and see how they can improve, and what could I do to help someone improve, and which could better my life at the same time. Because if I know that I played a big part in their life changing, and they're happier, it makes me happy at the same time too. Okay, so we're gonna go straight into my tips. I'm gonna give you guys 5 tips, my 5 personal tips I think help you get shredded. Number 1, my personal opinion is macro tracking. So track your macros, okay? Be aware of it. Be aware of what each macro does. Be aware of what your protein does. Be aware of what your fats do. Be aware of what your carbs do as well, okay? So we can, when we start looking at meal plans and diets, there's different types of approaches. So you have your flexible dieting approach, there's a bro way, or Whole Foods. It doesn't really matter what kind of meal plan you show. You gotta actually know what's entering your body. You gotta know what the purpose of those macros do, and what they do to your body, because without that, then it's pointless. You could just be eating stuff and not even know the purpose of it. Okay, so eat less, work out more gets you shredded. No, actually, Wesley Snipes, personally, I don't think so. I don't think it's as simple as that. Because a lot of people, that's the first thing. If people are always quick to drop their food intake. Personally, I actually eat more when I'm on comp prep than I do when I'm off comp prep, because I eat more whole foods. And with more whole foods, the volume of food is more that I have to eat. Whereas I have a more flexible approach, and also my fats are also higher when I'm in my off season. So when we talk about volume wise, my volume is actually less in my off season than my on season. So during my on season, I have to actually eat more. So I have to actually get my body ready for it. So sometimes, my personal opinion, I don't think it's as simple as just eating less. Because eating less doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get your body in a position to burn body fat. If you eat less and your body doesn't have enough energy to fuel all your activities that it needs to do, and your body starts to get stressed, you're only going to store body fat. So that's not going to help you in any way. So I know sometimes there's a lot of people that always go out on really, really low calorie diets, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Like I said, I'm not here to put anyone down. My personal opinion is just know your body, find out what works for you, and you gotta be able to have a look at these macros and the contents of these macros that you actually put into your body. Analyze your food, guys. There's so much information on the internet, guys. You can try and find out what's wrong and what's not. If you do need help, feel free to ask me questions as well, and I'll help you as much as I can with what I can do. So Michelle Kiddo, eat less, work hard, equal hungry. Yes, exactly. You just keep getting hungry. Doesn't necessarily mean you're going to drop body fat. What's your favorite meal? Which do you eat regularly? My favorite meal. What is my favorite meal? You know what I actually find as a really good meal? I like eggs. So like omelets. Omelets are really, really good. When I say my favorite clean meal, I just feel like they're filling. Eggs are tasty if you don't like eggs. But I just find this one of the easiest meals to eat. Really tasty, really easy on the gut as well. I do like beef as well. I do like turkey mince as well. But eggs are really good. Like, yeah. Well, I'm glad you like eggs as well, Roland. That's so good. But yeah, so that's tip number one, is being aware and tracking your macros, because that's one thing I find people lack a lot. So that's my personal opinion, guys. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm not saying you're wrong. But like I said, the best thing, chicken and rice is yum. Chicken, you can't go wrong with chicken and rice, Roland. That's awesome. Another thing as well I say is, make it a lifestyle. So most of you already know that fat cells don't just disappear like that. So when you go on a diet plan or a meal plan to lose body fat, your fat cells don't instantly disappear. So a lot of people think, I've lost this fat, so it's gonna go away straight away. But you know what? If you think about it, that's why people sometimes can put on weight just as fast as they've lost it, because they basically just shrink. Okay. So what you want to do is to be able to make it a lifestyle. My boy Sal, cheers. You want to be able to make it a lifestyle. So this is where you have to find out what works for you. So some people may be able to hold, like, for instance, like they may be able to eat like chicken and broccoli and live off of that with having cheat meals on the weekend. Go for it. If you can eat at a flexible dieting approach, you tracking your macros and you're aware of what's going in and out of your body, go for it. If you can be long term with that and not even feel like it's like a chore or you're having to actually like diet, for a long term approach, I think that's a much better option. So you gotta be able to actually eat in balance. You gotta be able to figure out what works for you, and also work around. So for instance, you're working, you're doing daily activities and stuff like that. Like basically, like a lot of us have busy schedules, and I understand most of you would too. And one of the things I hear most of the time is, I don't have enough time to do this. I don't have enough time to prep my meals. And that's fine. So what you want to do in that situation is you want to have meals that are more convenient. So for instance, like most of my clients that don't have enough time in their day, because I'm quite busy myself, I give them a lot of smoothies and stuff like that, which works really well for them, and then they enjoy, because one of the last thing you want is, you do not want your meal plan to be like, oh my god, that's a chore. The word dieting or being on the meal plan or whatever scares people so much, and you don't want it to be another chore of having to stress and move your life around just for your diet. And you want it to be a lifestyle. It means you want it to be something you enjoy. Okay. With that being said as well, please guys, do not make your meals so bland. I know I know a lot of people just have such bland meals. You can add some condiments to your meals. It's not gonna kill you. Okay, just don't go crazy with them. Sometimes, I actually think if you actually enjoy, I look forward to my next meals. I'm always excited when I see food. So I'm like, yes, I can't wait to eat again. It shouldn't be a thing, oh my god, I gotta eat that chicken and broccoli again. I've seen some memes like that, but it shouldn't be like that. Ethan Muse says, have you ever tried CrossFit before? But no, I haven't. I actually don't think I have the fitness to try CrossFit. So you know what though? What I'm going to do, Ethan, is as I build up my cardiovascular fitness and endurance, my muscular endurance, during this comp prep, I'm actually going to try CrossFit, and I'm actually going to video it. So stay tuned. That's going to happen. I had some questions about me trying yoga and stuff like that. I'm actually going to try that as well. That's going to be so funny. So I'll video this and post it on YouTube for you guys to see. Guys, please make sure you click the like button. And yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. So that's number 2 for tips for getting shredded. I really, really appreciate you guys being here, and I really appreciate your time as well. Oh, Roland, right? Your real name is Wayne. Nice to meet you, Wayne. Really good to have you on here, and it's good you're keeping in touch, and really appreciate your time as well. So thank you so much, guys. So tip number 3 for getting shredded. Okay. Remember, it's usually calories in, calories out. So, I know diet is one of the big parts, but your training also plays a decent role in there. So guys, if you're trying to get lean, cardiovascular fitness definitely is one thing that's going to help you, and I'm sure most of you know that. But also, don't neglect your resistance training, because that's also going to help you at the same time as well. Your metabolism is basically going to speed up when your muscles are sore and it needs to recover, because remember, your body is actually going to need energy and nutrients to repair these muscles, and it's going to have to work harder to repair these muscles. So don't neglect your resistance training as well as you do with your cardiovascular training. You know what you could do? You could also plan your resistance training with, for instance, shorter rest breaks in between, so you also hit your cardiovascular system in between, and you can still keep lifting heavy. Like unless your strength has actually declined, I personally don't think it's okay to fully drop your weight, unless you're really close into comp and you basically you want to avoid injury. Like if you're lifting heavy with good form, I don't necessarily mean a 1 rep max, but I mean if you're still keeping a decent weight with good form, I personally would just keep it. Like I'll keep it up as well, like all throughout to comp. So all throughout my plan that I'm doing, because I find that I'm actually gonna benefit from that. If my body doesn't find any use for the muscle mass, because it's like all these fast twitch muscle fibers have been built from lifting heavy, then it's most likely that it's also going to be helping drop it. So the guys that want to keep nice and fuller while they build muscle mass, while they lean up, that could be a tip for you guys. That's my personal opinion. Like I said, guys, I may not be right, I may not be wrong, but that's what I found works for me. So I hope I can benefit you, or any of this information can benefit you in a way that will help you too, and you can utilize as much as you can from it too. So the next one I'm going to say for tips for losing weight, guys, is recovery. So supplementation helps. So supplementation is one, and the last one is actually sleep. So I'm guilty of having hardly any sleep. So really, before I even start with sleep, I'm actually guilty of it. So you guys can drill me if you want for that. But I'm going to try my best to have more sleep as well. Sometimes I have no sleep because I'm making videos for you guys. So if you guys can, please chuck me a like, hit that subscribe button so I can make more of these videos, so it feels like it's more worth my time as well. I'm actually in my bathroom, Wayne, at the moment. Just the reason is because I don't have someone to hold the camera for me today. My back camera is actually a lot better than my front camera, so I thought I'd use my back camera to record, and I can still see your comments. I can also reply to you guys, and I can get better quality video on my live video as well. So had a really long day, but I haven't been live for a while, and I love live. I love interacting with you guys at the same time. I love being able to help you guys at the same time. So I hope this actually benefits you guys as well. Don't forget to click the like button, guys. Really appreciate it. So yeah, on the topic of sleep's really important. Try your body up, in my personal opinion as well. Again, this is my personal opinion. You need about 5 hours deep sleep. So let's say about 6 to 7 hours if you can get to bed, and if you can get 5 hours of sleep, you can achieve better recovery. So thank you so much, Roland. I try my best to put in as much effort as I can, and hopefully you guys can benefit from it too. So big ups. Make sure you guys click the thumbs up button for me, and also guys, feel free to request videos as well, because I'm going to be trying to do as much as I can. I'm also going to be showing you guys a bit of what I'm doing during my comp prep, so you guys can have a bit of insights to these videos, and just in case you guys decide to do a competition, at least you kind of know how I feel and stuff like that. So yeah, 4.5 hours. Try and increase it. Try your best. I mean, sometimes we are grinding so hard that we don't get enough sleep, and I'm guilty of that myself. Like I don't prioritize my sleep at all. And this is going to change from now, so you guys can hold me accountable for it as well. Hi Gabriel Diaz, how are you? So yeah, I'm gonna try my best. Make sure you like the video, please, legend. So yeah, so make sure you get your sleep in, guys. It's really important, 100%. Such a big part of recovery, and also helps to get you shredded as well, because there's less stress while you're sleeping as well, hopefully less cortisol release, and your body's also recovering and repairing during that time too. The last thing I'm going to say is supplementation. So notice how I said supplementation is the last one. Supplementation is also important, but it's also called a supplement for a reason. So supplementation would help you, but do not ever replace it with your food. So that's why I put it last, okay? Supplementation is a big part, really big part as well, and it will help you. But again, do not replace it with your food. If you have a good diet and you have great supplementation, you're going to achieve better results, okay? So first thing I'll say is L-carnitine. Acetyl L-carnitine is what I've personally found really good for fat loss. You know, like really promotes fat metabolism. So if you guys do what's it called, want to lose body fat, in my opinion, acetyl L-carnitine is good. Our usual protein for recovery, I usually choose a whey protein isolate. I find an isolate has less carbs and fat, so it's good. Really good, nice and pure. Great way to get our protein in. Again, it's a supplementation, so you know, sometimes we may require a little bit more protein than we actually having or consuming from our diet. Some of us may not be able to eat volumes of food, so that's where it comes in and becomes a big part. So also busy lives, that actually helps as well. So it's good to have that as a supplement. Those are my two main ones I actually use for fat burning. I actually don't use fat burners in general. I usually get most of the content in fat burners from the natural extract, so like your green tea extract, you know, like stuff like that, African mango extract. But this year I'm actually going to incorporate a fat burner as well, getting closer to the end of my comp, so we'll see how that goes. And I'm really looking forward to it. Like, you know, it's gonna be a tough comp this year. At the end of the year, it's gonna be great guys competing, and you know, at the end of the day, like, I know a lot of people are always aiming for that first place trophy. My first place trophy is for me to look better than I did the last time I competed. That's literally my first place. If I get that done, I am happy. I am excited. I'm ecstatic. Like, as long as I look better, and I get as lean as I want to, I'll be so much happy. How many grams of protein do you supplement in each shake? Roland says. So it depends on the protein and depends on how many grams, but I think I use the BSN one, and that's usually, I think, 25 grams. I'll have to double check, so don't take my word for it. But I usually use, me personally, for my body weight, I usually use about about 1 scoop and like a quarter for my serving sizes. So I enjoy that. But yeah, it may vary with everyone. So just, yeah, make sure you check, have a look at how many grams. And I do, Gabriel says, did you eat eggs? Yes, I do eat eggs. I love eggs. Really good. I find this also makes my diet more interesting as well. So I do love eggs. I usually eat more of the whites. I still keep some yolks in my eggs and I get some of my fats and some of my cholesterol from it. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, I don't go crazy with the yolks on the eggs, but yeah. Guys, if you have any questions, be sure to drop them in the comments below. I gotta go now. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I'm gonna be trying to go going live as often as possible. I'll try my best for you guys. Hope you guys are all doing really good. Don't forget to click the like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button below as well. You guys are legends. You guys are champions. And also, if you do want help with your training or nutrition plans, I do some myself. So you can contact me on Instagram at Kwame Duah. It's exactly the same name as my channel. message me over there. If not, my website is www.kwame.com.au, and I do have some I do online coaching and meal plans and everything for you guys as well. So hope you guys have a lovely day. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and I'm out. Peace.